And they are now heading in the right direction. They've got a long way to go. They went all the way back to the landing side of the first of the 3 hurdles in the back straight. So they've still got to manoeuvre their way around the hurdle, which is likely to appear to the left of the picture in a moment. Glen Cannell to the fore in the dark green silks, the Tim Radford silks. Sean Ogue in the blue and white, and Romeo Brown towards the near side. Starters ready for them now. Flags are raised. Walking in a little more quickly now. They're off for the Here's to Another Greyland 25 years handicap hurdle. Dispatch from just beyond the midpoint in the back straight first time, and they make their way towards the first, led by Romeo Brown in the dark blue and yellow. To Glen Cannell with the maroon cap, Sean Ogue in a blue and white jacket, a little wider, rising. And then Better Get Along, red cap hurdling fluently. Short price favourite, Kilter, orange cap for Jonathan England. Buried him away mid-pack with Yealand towards the inner and the blue and yellow tracking the leaders from the back straight. The final pair into the turn, Gaelic Coast, blue cap is last but one, cap a length away to Largy Shark in the double green under Daryl Jacob. So they're entering the last 2 miles of the race now, and Romeo Brown under Tom Midgley will lead them in to a line of 3 flights up the straight, tracked by Glen Cannell from Yealand, Better Get Along, then Kilter and Sean Ogue, and Gaelic Coast, who races towards the rear of the field. Largy Shark last of all, charting a wideish course as well in rear under Daryl Jacob as they clear the second. Took it fluently as well, Largy Shark, on the extreme left of them. So they make their way between flights 2 and 3. Then there's a relatively short run between the next pair of flights, and Romeo Brown is leading Glen Cannell. Yealand in the blue and yellow hops over in third. On that occasion, Largy Shark didn't jump it fluently. He made quite a serious mistake and was quickly gathered up by Daryl Jacob, who probably made it look less than it actually was. He was better there, Largy Shark. He gave that plenty of daylight. But an early scare for Largy Shark and his supporters. Circuit ahead of them, Romeo Brown leading Glen Cannell. And then Yealand, Better Get Along towards the near side, the red cap, just ahead of Sean Ogue in a blue and white jacket. Kilter up the running rail alongside Gaelic Coast and Largy Shark, racing firmly in touch, and little more than 4 or 5 lengths would cover them into the paddock turn at around the, sort of 26, 27 mile an hour mark, I'd guess. And they're moving towards the halfway point. Romeo Brown has been joined by Glen Cannell. They're being tracked into the turn by Yealand, working across to Sean Ogue and Better Get Along, and then Kilter the orange cap, accompanied by Gaelic Coast and Largy Shark, beginning the downhill run to the 5th. Romeo Brown narrowly over Glen Cannell in the hands of Ben Jones, the maroon cap. Yealand in the blue and yellow, right in behind in turn, tracked by favourite Kilter. Sean Ogue in the centre of the pack, wider Better Get Along. Gaelic Coast and Largy Shark, who's in the double green, remain firmly in touch. The next flight brings them to the end of one circuit. Romeo Brown over Glen Cannell, Sean Ogue landing third ahead of Better Get Along. Yealand, Gaelic Coast, Largy Shark and Kilter. Still only 4 lengths would cover them. Going to the last over on the far side, pace a little more generous than it was about half a mile back. Romeo Brown and Glen Cannell fractionally upping the ante here. Over Sean Ogue, Better Get Along. Yealand towards the inner. Mistake there from Better Get Along. The old boy should know better. But he hit that quite hard. Has to regather his momentum as they move into the turn. Romeo Brown and Glen Cannell first and second. Sean Ogue, white cap, disputing third with Yealand. Gaelic Coast, blue cap, grey sleeves on the move, shading 5th into the turn, but that move is covered on the inner by Kilter. after that mistake, better get along, finds himself last but one cast adrift with Largy Shark, who hasn't really got involved after that early mistake and is struggling at the back of the field. And Romeo Brown leads them inside the last half mile with 3 to jump. Glenn Cannell poised at his quarters. Sean Oak bustled along on the near side. Kilter now making smooth progress. Yealand is going through horses as Romeo Brown falls quickly, and Glenn Cannell went on but made a mistake. Romeo Brown made a mistake. Yealand is looking threatening. Sean Oak battling away under pressure. Now Kilter in fourth. Orange Cap is shaken up as Yealand on the right comes to have a crack at Glenn Cannell as they reach the second last. Little separating them, 3 lengths ahead of Kilter in third. Sean Oak one paced in fourth, then Gaelic Coast. They're making their way on towards the last. Still up for grabs this. Yealand jumps on from Glenn Cannell. Now Kilter gathering ahead of steam, beginning to run on. Yealand got first run, however. Heads towards the last furlong with a lead of 3 lengths. Kilter is slowly grinding away, slowly eroding the deficit. A half furlong to go. Yealand, Kilter, it's still closing, bearing down on him. Yealand is all out. Kilter inching ever closer. The line is coming. Yealand holds on. Kilter couldn't quite get there. They drew right away from Glenn Cannell in third and Sean Oak in fourth.